Hi fashion lovers, you're welcome to another interesting video. In today's tutorial we are going to be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful kaftan bubu dress with a V-shaped neckline, just like what you are seeing on the screen. It is very easy and simple. If you are a beginner, this video is beginners friendly. If you're a beginner, kindly stay tuned because this is going to be a very easy and detailed tutorial. Alright guys, let's get started. For this beautiful style, I made use of 2 yards of African print fabric, and this is the fabric I made use of. Is a fabric that has like a 2 different design attached to it. This fabric is so beautiful and I made use of 2 yards of this fabric. So I went ahead to fold it once and then went again to fold it the second time. So because I want to cut out the front and the back parts together, so I folded it once and folded it again, making it a 4-fold. So if you want to cut your own kaftan, you can fold it into 4 just like mine. So this is going to be easy for you. So you cut the front and the back at the same time. So the next thing I'm going to do is to mark 1 inch on top of the pattern paper. This is going to serve as the starting point or the shoulder line. So you just mark 1 inch and then go ahead and rule a straight line. This will become the starting point line. So the next thing is to take half of your shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement I'm working with is 14 inches divided by 2 is going to give me 7 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark and then go ahead and take the length of the sleeve, the desired length of your sleeve. So for me, I'm going to be taking length of 9 inches as my sleeve, which is to the end of the dress. So you take your desired length of sleeve. It can be 9 inches, it can be 10, 11, 12. If you want to make use of 12 inches or more as the length of your sleeve, you might need to use 2.5 yards or 3 yards of fabric and not 2 yards. So from this point now, which is where my sleeve end, I will come down by 1.5 inches to take my shoulder slope. So I stopped my shoulder slope on my shoulder line, but that was a mistake. So I would reconnect it later. So the next thing is to take my back neckline, which is 4 inches. So let me just reconnect my shoulder slope. The shoulder slope is meant to get to the neckline. So I marked 4 inches as the width of my neckline, and then I came down by 1 inch. This is going to serve as the neckline of the back. So it's 4 inches by 1 inch, and this is going to serve as the back neckline. So from that shoulder line, I will come down by 7 inches. So from the shoulder line, I will come down by 7 inches for the depth of my front neckline. You can make use of 6, 7 or 8 inches. So I use 7 inches as the depth of my neckline. The width is 3 inches. Sorry, the width is 4 inches and the front depth neckline is 7 inches. Please don't get confused. So the next thing you want to do is to mark your sleeve opening, and my sleeve opening is 10 inches. I want my sleeve opening to be 10 inches, and then I will add 1 inch, which is going to be the sewing allowance. So my sleeve opening is 10 inches plus 1 inch, which is going to serve as my sleeve, as my sewing allowance, and then I ruled a line there. So that line will be my chest line. So the next thing you want to do is to mark 1/4 of your highest body circumference. In my own case, my hip is the highest body circumference, which is 37, and I divided by 4. You mark whatever thing you have, and then I went ahead to add 4 inches That 4 inches is gonna serve as the ease. So I mark 1/4 of my hip plus 4 inches, and whatever I have, I am marking it down. So you're going to mark it down. So you're going to use your highest body circumference, whether your bust, your waist, or your hip, whichever one that is your highest body circumference. You divide it by 4, you mark it, and then add 4 inches, which is going to serve as both the sewing allowance and the ease. So I'll just go ahead and mark a straight line. So the next thing you want to do is, at this point, you try to make a curve. That is going to be your armhole. It's just serving as an armhole curve. You make a curve around there. So this is what we have after we are done. I believe this is very simple and easy. I believe you understood to this point. Let me just, retrace this mark so you don't get confused. So this is what we have after we are done. So the next thing is for me to mark the length of my sleeve of my gown. So the length I'm making use of is 37 inches, but I'm going to be adding 2 inches band. So what I'm going to mark is 35 inches plus half an inch. So the length I marked is 35.5 inches. So the half inch down is going to serve as a sewing allowance for the band I'm going to be attaching to this dress. So I will just cut off this part. So what I marked is 35.5. So I will still cut out a band that the height will be 2 inches, and by the time I attach it to my dress, I will have the total length as 37. So I'll go ahead and cut, and now I'm cutting the back neckline, and you add half inch to it as you are cutting. Then cut your shoulder, add half inch to it, and then I'll go ahead and also cut this part. So after I was done cutting, I will go ahead and separate it. I will take off the part that will serve as the back, and then I will continue my cutting with the front part. So I've taken off the part that will serve as the back part. So this is going to serve as my front. So I'll cut out the neckline, and I'll add half inch to it. Did you see? I will add half inch to it, just like this. And when you open it up, this is what you are going to have. So the next thing is to cut out my pocket. So I have these pieces of fabric. I will use these pieces of fabric left, and I will use it to cut out my pocket. Did you see? Just put your hand like this and trace it, then go ahead and cut. Just use any size of pocket that you want. Did you see? So I'll just fold it like this, and then try to recut it very well. So this is going to serve as the pocket. So I have 4 pieces for it, 4 pieces for this. So it's going to serve as the pocket. So I have 4 pieces for it. Did you see? And it's going to serve as our pocket. So the next thing is to cut out our facing, and I have it as 18 inches, 17 inches by 12 inches. So the width like this is 12, and the length like this is 18 and 17. So what I have is 17 by 6 inches on fold, but when you open it up, you will have 17 by 12 inches, but on fold I have 17 by 6 inches. So you want to go ahead and place the front part like this on your facing, because you want to go ahead and cut out the facing for this front part, and then you want to cut out the neckline on the facing. And when you are done, this is what you are going to have. So from the shoulder, from the top here, you want to mark 2.5 Did you see 2.5? And from the end of where the neckline stop, you mark 4 inches. Did you see? From where the neckline stop, you mark 4 inches. So at this point, I made mistake. I was not meant to keep the curve ruler like that, so I went ahead to clean it up. So you want to keep your curve ruler like this and connect from the shoulder to this point. Did you see? Like this, you connect from the shoulder to this point, and then from the down part you go up by 5 inches like this. Then you keep your curve ruler like so, like this, not so curvy, and then you connect like this. Did you see? We went up by 5 inches, and then from that point you just note the way I'm keeping the curve ruler, and then you go ahead and connect from this point to this point. Try to blend it in. Did you see? So you can go ahead and cut off this part. Please take note of how I kept the curve ruler so that you'll be able to get this facing perfectly well. So you want to go ahead and cut it out, and by the time you open it, this is what you are going to have. So this facing now, I will go ahead and attach an interfacing to it. I will attach a paper stay to it. So this is my front and back part. The next thing I want to do is from the shoulder, I will mark my waistline plus half an inch. My waistline is 15 inches plus 1 inch. Sorry, my waistline 15 inches plus 1 inch is going to give me 16. So I will mark at that point, and then I'll go ahead and notch that point. That is where I'm going to be attaching my pocket. Please take note of that. Mark your shoulder to your waistline and add 1 inch to it, and then notch at that point. So that is the place you are going to be attaching your pockets. So when you open the front up, this is what you are going to have. Did you see that? So I've gone ahead to use an interfacing on my facing. I attach a paper stay to it. And this is how we're going to be attaching it. This is how it's going to stay on the main fabric. So you want to go ahead and notch it small, just small, so that you'll be able to fold it in, because I'll go ahead and fold it in. So you just notch it so that it will be easier for you to fold in like this. And when you fold it in, you use your iron to press it down. So I'll go ahead and notch other parts just like this, and then fold it in. So as you can see, I'm done folding it in, and this is what I have after I was done folding it in. So you want to go ahead and turn the front to the wrong side, and then you want to place the right side of the facing the wrong side of the main fabric like this. The right side of the facing will face the wrong side of the main fabric, and then you want to go ahead and sew the neckline. So after you are done, this is what you are going to have. You want to go ahead and notch this part, and then go ahead and notch all around it like this. Make sure you don't cut through the seam. Notch all around it, and then flip it to the right side now. Flip it like this to the right side. And then you want to go ahead and iron it down, and then go ahead and stitch your facing. Go ahead and stitch your facing like this. So when I was done stitching the facing, this is what I have. Did you see? This is what I have when I was done stitching the facing. So I've gone ahead to do my buttons, because there is button attached to this dress. So you can go ahead, use your fabric to make buttons. If you don't have the machine, you can do it with You can do it in the market. And I have gone ahead to cut out the band that is going to be at the down. So I have it as 5 inches, but I'm going to be folding it, and as you can see, I attach an interfacing to it. So I'm going to be folding it, and if I fold it, I will have it as 2.5 inches, and the half inch is for sewing allowance. And after sewing, I will have 2 inches as the length, as the height of the band. So did you see? You want to go ahead, fold it into 2 and join it on the down part. And this is the pocket. You get to the waistline where you notched and place your pocket right side facing the right side of the main fabric like this, and then you go ahead and stitch the 2 sides of the pocket. And when you are done, this is what you are going to have. You can see I've stitched the band to the front, to the down part, and I've stitched the pocket. Did you see? I've stitched the pocket, and when you turn, this is what you are going to have. Did you see? So this is going to be my pocket, and this is how the other side is. So this is what I have as the front part now. So the next thing you want to do is to grab a piece of fabric and fold it for you to be able to cut out the back facing. So you fold your back into 2 like this, and then place it on the piece of fabric, and then cut out the neckline like this. This is the back facing now. Cut out the neckline. So the next thing is to like make a curve at the down part. So this is how your facing is going to be. So you want to open it up like this. Did you see? Open it up like this, and this is your facing. Place your facing right side facing each other, right side facing each other, and then sew the neckline and flip it to the wrong side. So when I was done sewing the neckline, this is what I have. I will go ahead and notch all around it like this, and then I will flip it to the wrong side. You can use your hemming gum, to gum to hold down the neckline, or you can just stack it. So the next thing is to add your pocket. Place your right side of the pocket to the right side of the main fabric, starting from that notched part you made on your waistline, and also place it starting from that part. So you want to go ahead and stitch it down. Right side of the pocket facing the right side of the main fabric. And then you want to also go ahead and attach the band. The band is 5 inches, but on fold is 2.5. So you want to place it like this and sew it down. Then you can now turn it. So that is how to attach your band. So when I was done, this is what I have. You can see I've joined the pocket and I've sewn the down part. Did you see? So the next thing is to grab the front, which is this one, and then face it. Right side of the front will face the right side of the back, and then you hold it on the shoulder and sew. You also hold it on the other shoulder and stitch it, and stitch like this. Did you see that? So when I was done sewing, this is what I have. Did you see? When I was done sewing, this is what I have. So you want to go ahead and open it up, open your sleeve up like this, and then go ahead and attach your band. So I cut out a band. The band is 4.5 inches. If you fold it, it's going to be 2.1 inch or 2 1/4. Then you want to go ahead and place it. The length should be able to, get through the length of the sleeve. So you want to go ahead and attach the band. So when I was done attaching the band, this is what I have. Did you see? When you open it up, this is what you are going to have. So you want to hold it down like this to sew the side seam. So you stitch by the 1 inch, which is your sewing allowance, sew through the sleeve. You can sew through the pocket. You can sew through the pocket by 1/2 inch, but the side seam should be 1 inch. You also repeat the process on the other side as like so. Stitch by 1 inch and 1/2 inch through the pocket and stitch till you get to the down part. So when I was done, this is what I have. You want to go ahead and notch, and also notch around this part. So you want to notch around that point, this point. Did you see? You also notch. Did you see? You also notch around that point. But don't cut through your seam. So when you are done, you flip it to the right side. So this is our pocket. So I'll go ahead and attach all my buttons. Did you see? Attach all your buttons on your facing. So I've gone ahead to attach the button, as you can see, and I have this. They call it tassel or something like that. I don't know, but that's what they told me in the market that is being called. Tassel. I don't get. If you know the name, you can just help me write down the name for me in the comment section. I don't really know the name. So you want to go ahead and place it on the last button, you know, fold it like 2 times and you are good to go. So after you are done, this is what you are going to have. So this is the end of the tutorial, and this is me rocking my beautiful outfit. It came out so well. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, kindly subscribe and like this video, and also share it. If you have any question, drop on the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. See you in my next tutorial. Bye bye.